Tell me the story now.
Okay. All right. Well, without getting sidetracked, I'll try to, because I got sidetracked a little earlier.
I'll keep you on track.
So, okay, well, I arrive at the airport, right? I didn't sleep at all the night before. Several nights I haven't slept at this point because there's a lot at stake here because I've spent a lot of time and money and effort, and this is just a regular flight. So it's not like the Alaska flight was deliberately trying to get into the path,
Okay.
right? This is just a regular flight. So I show up at the airport to the check-in agent. I said, is there any way, I told her my whole story, is there any way I can get pre-check or pre-boarding? The business selector or whatever on Southwest. She goes, no, all, sold out. I had Group C, C18, which I thought, I'm gonna be the last one on this flight. I'm not gonna have, because I checked in on the phone the night before. It was Group C, C18. I thought, I'm gonna be the last one on this flight. I'm not even gonna get a window seat, let alone a window seat without the wing being in the way. And so I went to the ATM. I was prepared. I had like $600 cash. I was ready to bribe to somebody. I was really just my nephew. I had a plan B.
You're from New York?
No, I'm from Las Vegas actually.
Oh, there you go. So
Only
that
been here
makes
a
sense.
year. Yeah.
So we do have commonalities.
Oh, really?
I'm from New York. No, I'm from New
Oh, you're
York.
from
Born,
New York.
raised,
Okay.
and
Okay.
my whole life here.
Yeah.
But you're from Las Vegas, so you know to put a little cash in your pocket.
Yeah. With all this, time and money and effort already, it's like, what's another 600? It was like, I was really dedicated. And anyway, fortunately, I didn't have to spend that because I show up at the gate and I immediately realize the flight is delayed by 20 minutes or so. Okay, it still should be okay because we're heading eastbound. We're going with the shadow. We leave at 9:05 a.m. Now it was like 9:25 a.m. We're supposed to depart. The moon shadow, I know, starts at 10:18 a.m. on the West Coast or so. I thought, okay, it's still gonna be okay.
So, but you're thinking this on your own, whereas Southwest may have already done this intentionally.
Well, you're right. So
because
this is
their
what.
weathermen worked it all out and planned all those flights.
Well, so now this woman comes on the PA system at the gate. And she says, there are 3 gentlemen standing next to her. And she goes, we have a really special flight for you today. These are 3 executives from Southwest Corporate that are going to be on your flight with you to experience this historic eclipse. We're going to be handing out eclipse-themed eclipse glasses. All the drinks are free on the whole flight. There are eclipse-themed drinks, so like solar flare as a screwdriver and all these different drinks that are, Bailey's Beads was a drink name, I think. All these different drink names, and all the drinks are free. All of a sudden, it's an event. They're making an event out of it. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to go meet these executives. And so I take out my camera gear from all my bags. I rented a 400 millimeter lens, I think, which I didn't even end up using because on this flight, I'm not trying to get a close up. I want to get a wide shot, but I had my 11 millimeter Canon lens, which was really valuable for this. And anyway, I had all my gear, right? I'm wearing a NASA t-shirt, which I am now. I got to represent. And I go up to the executives and I said, hi, my name's John, and I told them my story. I just flew in from New York City last night, just on the off chance this flight might be in the moon shadow. And oddly enough, the Alaska Airlines contest, the flight I wanted to be on so badly, happened to be leaving out of the gate next to us, out of the same airport.
You're kidding.
I know. And I'm like, so they're throwing this big eclipse party at the gate next to us, and it's being all
That's right.
publicized.
Joe's there, and they have a press conference. Joe Rayo would have been standing there.
So I'm right there witnessing this whole party for this contest I worked so hard to try to win and lost. And so I'm explaining all this to them. So I showed them my eclipse video that I sent to Alaska. It was only 30 seconds, and it shows a bunch of my astronomy photos. And shares who I am. I'm a hang gliding pilot, whatever. And so I show them this video, and they go, oh my God, so you were supposed to be on that flight, but you're gonna be on ours? And they go, we're so lucky to have you. We gotta get you a good seat. I'm like, that's all I wanted to hear, right? And so they introduced me to the captain and to the first officer, the entire flight crew. I'm the first one on the plane. I'm like pre-boarding, okay? I'm now getting treated like I'm officially the photographer for this Southwest flight. You know, it's like, and I'm talking to the captain on the plane, and I'm trying to tell him what my goal is. And I said, I really want to make it look like we're in space. But in order to do that, I need a really wide shot. But through these little airplane windows, this little 8 inches, there's these layers of plastic that as soon as you angle the camera at all, you lose all the sharpness. And the way that I create my artwork, they get printed very large. So this eclipse print is going to be about 12 feet wide. So you can walk up to it, and it takes up your whole peripheral vision. And my whole vision was, I want it to feel like you're looking out the window out of the International Space Station, and you literally look up to see the eclipse, because that's how large the print will be. I mean, the largest print. I'll, print up small ones too. But
and the only way we know to do that is to shoot from the cockpit, because it has single pane glass. But you have it. So now I'm very curious. What did you do?
So, you mean technically?
Well,
okay.
yeah.
Well, here I'll
How did you do it?
Okay.
Because it's a big problem.
Right. It is, and I've practiced, shooting out of airplane windows before. So I'm explaining to the pilot about what I'm trying to do, and I need to do what's called a photomosaic, like a panorama, right? But not just a panorama of one level plane, but I need the foreground, I need the sun, because the sun was high up, and I need it all. And I'm shooting with a 5DSR, 50 megapixel camera. So every shot is 50 megapixels, but the lighting changes so quickly, right? So I'm bracketing it, so I'm taking 7 different exposures for each shot. So I'm just triggered, So our totality, we're going with the shadow. So we had over 3 minutes of totality, fortunately. Anyway.
You had over 3 minutes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Excellent.
I'd have to ask the pilot. I think he knows exactly how long it lasted, but he and I are good friends now, and he already bought a first print, even though I haven't released it yet. He's like, when am I going to get this? Anyway, so this is the best part of the story. I'm explaining all this to him. I'm like, which side of the plane do you think I should sit on? Because, we're going toward the sun. And he goes, maybe the right side. So now my goal is to find the cleanest window possible. So I'm looking down each aisle, out each window. They're all filthy dirty. And I run back to the front of the plane. I'm like, I can't shoot out of any of these windows. They're all filthy dirty. The captain overhears me and he goes, hold on. Sit on the left side of the plane, because I think I could clean your window. So I sit on the left side of the plane. It's this filthy, dirty window. He gets his cleaning supplies from the cockpit. He goes out of the plane using the moving jetway thing you use to get on the plane. And I got to show you these photos.
Hey, can we share
You can
them?
share these photos.
Okay. So I only want to see what we can share on the video.
Yeah, that's why I thought you could post these as I'm telling the story.
He went out there and he cleaned the plane. He went out there and Windexed the window.
So here's the Southwest glasses.
Yeah, okay.
Here's the pilot washing.
That's hilarious.
Look at the plane outside the window.
And there's the Alaska flight.
I was like, this is the sweetest irony ever. Because not only did I not get what I wanted.
Unbelievable story.
Not only,
unbelievable.
and this is his first time hearing it too. I'm glad that you haven't heard the whole. So not only what I thought of a quote by the Dalai Lama in this moment, because I had just spent 3 months in India right before this, and I met the Dalai Lama. I was like in his home. So I'm a huge fan and I read a lot of his books. There's a quote that he says saying, remember that sometimes not getting what you want can be a wonderful stroke of luck. That's the first thing I thought of in this moment, because I wanted that so badly to be on that plane, and I lost the contest. I only had a few more days to figure out a plan B option, and now I risked a lot. I gambled a lot of money to fly here, and also, if this doesn't work out, I miss out on this eclipse too, right? This historic moment. So there's a lot at stake. Now, not only do I not win that contest, but now I'm getting treated like I have the best seat I could ask for. I'm getting the captain himself. He's washing my window from the outside of the plane. He heard my whole vision that I'm trying to achieve. I have 3 executives from Southwest helping, and it was like, everything, it was just like, so now I'm like, I feel really good about this. And it was the clearest day you could have asked for. And so we take off. And, we're at 15,000, 20,000 feet, whatever. Eventually the captain comes on and he says, okay, we're at about 90% totality right now. And here's what's going to happen. I want everybody in the flight to get a good view. And we're going to do a couple of S turns to give you an idea of what to expect. So I'm like, now I'm like, okay, this is my practice run, right? To see what's going to happen. So I'm like, he does this right turn and this left turn. And I'm getting frustrated because I could see the sun if I really angle my head, but it's, and I'm like this. It's like I can't. All of a sudden,
I didn't have to go through that in Alaska. It's quite simple.
Yeah, I know, you were very lucky. It was right there. Yeah, this was very technical. So then I'm sitting in the front row, and the flight attendant's in front of me in the jump seat, right, facing me. She gets a call from the captain. She goes, John, the captain wants to know how was that? I was like, wow. Well, if you must know, it wasn't. She goes, he said it wasn't good enough. It has to be.
Oh my God.
So all of a sudden, this is at 35,000 feet. Then he goes up an extra 2,000 feet to 37,000 feet. And then he does another one. And, how was that? And I think, as a pilot, you have to go up higher if you're going to be doing, and he was sort of, after the flight, the pilot's like, I've been flying for over 30 years and I don't get a lot of firsts anymore, but this was a first, Yeah. And anyway, you got to see our flight path too. This you got to share as well. The captain later on texts me this. This is our flight path.
Oh my God. This is hilarious. Oh my God. So you got to remember all these pictures. This is great.
Yeah, I'll send these
to
to you.
You're going to, obviously you'll be looking at it. I'm seeing it now for the first time, but you're seeing it now on the video.
And the river, since
S turns.
You've seen the picture of the eclipse, the finished product that I've produced. That is the border of of Oregon and Idaho. So that river is the Snake River right there, and then the moon shadow. Okay. So for the Great American Eclipse, you have the shape of two states. I mean,
yeah.
So
no, it's a gorgeous photo. But how are you?
You got to watch the unveiling.
How are you able to make it so clear with it being how many panes of glass
I forgot to
are
mention
there?
that because that's what I said to the pilot. I said because of these layers of plastic, as soon as I angle the camera,
the duplications, you could see the mirror images of it, right?
So,
the ghosting.
Right. Yes. And so I told him I can only shoot directly straight out. I can't angle the camera at all. I can only shoot directly straight out. And so I've spent hundreds of hours on processing this image because throughout the entire 3 minutes or even the moments leading up and after, I had to take, it was like this giant jigsaw puzzle I had to put together in post. And if you take one frame of the whole scene, only a small percentage of it is sharp and clear. It varied for every shot. So I went together and I layered everything, and I was going like this. So I was like, because I knew that there were inconsistencies in the window and the plastic, all of those things. So I knew that, if you take one shot out of an airplane window using an SLR camera, wide angle, you can zoom in and you see little blurs, And I've had a lot of experience doing photos mosaics doing this. So again, with constructing this image, it was
and
like
this image can be 12 feet. You said
it's like a 20 gigabyte file or something. It's massive. It's like
wow,
30,000 pixels wide. I don't even remember.
Know
it's
if
like
there
it's
are any
massive.
such
I actually had to
photographs.
buy a new computer just to be able to
process it.
do it.
So there probably are none in existence. This is the first time ever from an airplane.
Yeah,
I can't think of other.
I know.
I don't care if they shot from a red camera.
I think that occurred to me. Those 3 minutes were, and you'll like this. So this is like the, like, things happen for a reason. That's all I had to, like, I was convinced in this moment because we were at this angle and I couldn't get the actual eclipse, like, sharp. I just couldn't because it was too hot, you know, and I thought, and the flight attendants are like, you know, the door, they have a little circle window, and it's angled up higher.
Yes.
And the flight attendants are freaking out, you know,
Right.
and the whole plane goes pitch dark suddenly, instantly, because the plane goes dark before we see the moon shadow, because the moon shadow is coming from behind us.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, people don't expect it. Not like from your experience,
Right.
you saw the moon shadow coming,
Perpendicular.
which
And at the end of
I was
it,
hoping
yes.
for that. But this
Right.
was actually
There was-
kind of cool too, because all of a sudden, vroom, dark, nighttime. It was like the whole plane, everybody's just like, and it's like, you know, I mean, it was gradual enough, but it was quickly. You've experienced it, and all of a sudden,
Yes. I'm thinking
Yeah.
of something else that we have to talk about.
oh yeah, okay. So anyway, the flight attendants are like, oh my God, we can see it. I said, is there any way I can see? And they go, come right now, right now, right now. And it's only a window this size, right? So I take my secondary camera with my telephoto, and it fits it just perfectly. All of a sudden, and this is my first time seeing a total eclipse. Oh, I'm getting out of this frame here because I'm getting so into it.
Yeah.
I'm like
Stay in the frame.
reenacting this whole thing. So I stand up and I look, and it's just a small little window, and the eclipse is perfectly
Oh my God.
in
Like, how
this.
could you move
And I was
the
like,
windows to go there, and
all
then
of a
touch
sudden I'm like, this is my first time seeing a total eclipse with my own eyes. And I'm like, I was not, like, I wanted to see this my whole life, but then when I see it, I'm like, and I just paused. And all of a sudden, I realized the plane's gonna turn back any moment now. Like, I was like, oh God, I forgot what I'm doing. And so I took my camera out and I got one shot. And then the plane went back down. And if it wasn't for that, and those flight attendants helping me out, well, and everything not panning out, I wouldn't have had it. It was like that last puzzle piece I didn't have. So then, and then all of a sudden, you know, we're out of totality, sun comes back out, everybody's applauding, and I am like sweating, and I get back in my seat and I'm like, okay. I turn on my camera, I review all the photos, and I knew I have it. Like, I just knew that nothing like this has probably ever existed, ever. And I was like, I'll have a drink. Solar flare, please.
Solar flare.
Yeah.